Howdy, back again. Now that Evolution Hour is up to speed, I can discuss evolution stuff and sciencey things in that format. And the kind of spot videos that I'm doing here can be on matters of larger import, which means like Donald Trump, because the guy can't keep on shooting his tweets off. Um, just recently, he announced at one of his speeches that he's the most presidency person you could imagine next to Lincoln, which he apparently justifiably regards as an exemplar. But meanwhile, as a historian, my jaw goes drop because, excuse me, Washington, Adams, Jefferson, Madison, the people who wrote the Constitution and the Declaration of Independence and made our government and created all of this, they don't rate on your little list, Donnie, that you're pushing yourself ahead of both of the Roosevelts, Teddy and Franklin, that you're jumping ahead of Ronald Reagan. Hear that, conservatives? He doesn't seem to put Reagan up on a pedestal hard enough. I'm terribly sorry, but you don't have the right to shine any of their shoes. Harding and Nixon on a good day are more presidential than you have been so far. So just get rid of that thing. I can understand why he might think that, because the Trumpster is a historical illiterate. And he lives in a little teeny fantasy bubble. And remember, because he's the most fantastic and incredible and perfect person that's ever been, and maybe Lincoln can edge him out just a wee bit, but he is going to want to barge in the same way that he nudged aside the president of Montenegro at the NATO meeting, because it's always him, me, I got to be there. I'm important, I'm important. Well, he's also got a certain level of political astuteness and to know what axes to grind and what buttons to push, and that's where we get to the second part of my brief discussion today, which is the trans ban. If you look at the context of things, that he had been dumping on a darling of the Kulturkampf, Sessions, who had to recuse himself over the Russian matter, and that's why he wanted him as Attorney General. Trump could see the problems coming, and he's got a loyalist, somebody who was loyal to him from the very beginning, and of course he's the perfect person to have as Attorney General to be able to do his bidding to resolve all that little pesky Russian matter. Except he has to recuse himself. And now he goes ballistic on him. He can't fire him. That's going to look bad with the Kulturkampf. So he's going to try to edge him out by tweeting him to death and ignoring him. Apparently, some of the nasty tweets he was tweeting was literally while Sessions was at the White House. Apparently, the president was hunkered down in some other room in the White House, firing tweets off. This is pathetic and wretched. Anyway, he's got to do something to act as a sop to the Kulturkampf to kind of distract them like a laser pointer. And the trans ban was exactly the right thing to do, because Tony Perkins and the Family Research Council have been obsessing about this for a long time, and they were just having fits over it, and bathroom issues. I read their postings and stuff that Tony Perkins dumps out. So that was a perfect sop to do. He apparently didn't actually consult with the military to do this and came up with cockamamie excuses that it's costing a lot of money. Ooh, millions of dollars. Yeah, we apparently pay more in Viagra in the military than we do on this issue. So it's all ad hoc, but it's designed to reinforce the Kulturkampf support, which he might maybe be a little bit weary about, because he's got to alienate them if he's going to grease the skids to get Sessions out. So here we've got a person who is politically astute in many ways, at least in the bullying department. And I won't even go into the claptrap inappropriateness of what he said at the Boy Scouts. Oh, are you presidential, Mr. President? Hell no. Not even Nixon sinks so low as you do. So that's my brief tirade for the moment. You may have gotten the impression that I have a low opinion of our current POTUS, and you'd be right. Thank you.